Hey guys, Benny here from the Benny Brothers channel, welcoming you to another episode of Let's Look At. And today I have with me The Legend of Zelda Hyrule Historia book. And this released way back in 2013 as a comprehensive guide of The Legend of Zelda's history and lore, as well as a timeline of all of the games that had released up until the point of 2011, when Skyward Sword was pretty much a brand new game still. And mostly because The Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword was basically the first game in the timeline of the series, so it was a good start at showing not only fans of the series how the story went from all of the games in the franchise, but for other people who were interested in the history and lore. So there's more than 200 pages featured in this book, pretty much telling the history of The Legend of Zelda, showing all of the characters and everything. And one of the first pages here is a foreword by Shigeru Miyamoto. And as you continue, one of the earlier pages shows history and artwork, as well as characters from Skyward Sword, since it's a brand new game. So here is pretty much a lot of the artwork from the concept art, some character designs, among other things. So a lot of neat stuff in this book, as well as, pretty much anything a Legend of Zelda fan would want, all in one book. So here is some map of the islands of the Skyward Sword game, as well as the characters. I'll just skip through some pages here just so I can speed this up a bit. So there's quite a lot of content here, going into very much high detail of not only, the games themselves, but the characters, the history, the items that Link collects in each game. One thing to note though, the Legend of Zelda games that released on the Flip CDI aren't featured in this game, as they aren't part of the timeline. You can probably imagine why. But yeah, a lot of stuff here on the first beginning of the several pages showing Skyward Sword. And here is a piece of art celebrating the 25th anniversary, pretty much showing all the different links of the different games that released, all the way up to the point of 2011. And here is where we get our timeline of the games. And there you can see it starts at Skyward Sword, then the Minish Cap, which tells how Link got his first hat. Then it goes to Ocarina of Time and the ending of it. So if he defeated Ganon, then it continues with Majora's Mask. if the Ocarina of Time hero continues but is nowhere to be found, then that's where the Wind Waker starts. And if he's defeated by Ganon, then that's where A Link to the Past begins and a different timeline starts. So here's where we get an explanation of how the Triforce was made and the three goddesses who created Hyrule and its world. And the beginnings of Skyward Sword and how the Master Sword was created, as well as showing the characters from the Minish Cap and its story, and the Ocarina of Time story, and how Link went through a journey to defeat Ganon, and he aged 7 years to become an adult. And here are the Oracle of Seasons and Oracle of Ages games, as well as Link's Awakening on the Game Boy and the NES games. So I'll move this along some more, and showing more Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask stuff, and then Twilight Princess, as well as the Four Swords and Wind Waker. Here is some original concept art from the games. There's a lot of neat stuff in this book. I got this book as a gift, and normally its price would have been $34.99 if you were to buy it. And I think it's a pretty decent price for what it's worth and what you get in all of its content. So I'll just skip along here. All of the Zeldas, Ganon, and the original box arts cartridges of the games. And another page featuring the producer of the series, Eiji Onuma. And on the back here is a special kind of manga that features the story of Skyward Sword. And you get a little warning here telling you that you have to read the story backwards, because that's pretty common for reading manga. You have to read the pages backwards as well as the dialogue boxes. So go all the way to the end here. A little message from the manga author. So the first several pages are in color, as you can see. And then the rest is in black and white. So, pretty neat stuff. Obviously, when it comes to manga that is an adaptation of the games, they're usually loosely based on the story, but still contain elements of the story of the game. So, there you go. I'll just speed through some pages here. And that's about it. Hope you guys enjoyed this episode of Let's Look At. This has been Benny, and I'll see you next time. Bye.